This game could be worth an insane $1.5 million. So in today's video, we're gonna dig into and see exactly why it's worth that much. If I wanted to sell my copy of Super Mario 64 today, I wouldn't be able to get that much, but if you stick around until the end of the video, I'll let you know how much my copy of Super Mario 64 could sell for today. Now, if you still have Mario 64 CIB, meaning complete in box, you have the box and instructions along with the game, it's worth 3 times as much as just the loose copy. If your copy of Mario 64 is still sitting in your closet from 1996, factory sealed, you can expect to earn around $2,000 give or take. Now, here's where things start to get really fun. If your game is still factory sealed and you sent it in to get graded, and depending on how well it graded, it could be worth this much, as it recently sold through a heritage auction for a staggering $1.56 million. Yes, you heard that right. A sealed, graded copy that almost scored a perfect 10, but it is the highest graded copy of Super Mario 64 known to man, sold for $1.56 million. You could literally retire off of this. It's hard to believe, but it's already been 28 years since Super Mario 64 launched alongside the Nintendo 64 back in September of 1996. That's when I picked up my copy of Super Mario 64 at my local Best Buy for $59.99, and it was worth every last penny. When Super Mario 64 released, it absolutely revolutionized the video game industry and completely changed the way we played video games. At the time, Mario 64 was known as the perfect example for game developers on how to flawlessly transition their 2D game franchise into a living, breathing 3D world. Now, even though it's been 28 years, I can still remember going to my local video game store called Gamers. There was a guy that worked there named Jimbo, and he was the coolest guy who worked there. And he always let us know when they got in a cool new game to rent, and if a game that we really wanted to play was rented out, he would make it a point to hold the game for us as soon as it was returned. Jimbo was a guy that you could always count on. I distinctly remember my dad taking me to Gamers back in July of 1996. Jimbo was working, and as soon as we came in, he told us that they had just got in the new Nintendo system from Japan, and that they're not going to enter it in to the computer system and advertise it for rental until Monday. And because we became friends over the years, he asked 11-year-old me and my dad if we wanted to take it home for the weekend for free to test it out, no strings attached. Just bring it back on Monday morning before we open. I literally couldn't believe the offer that was at my immediate doorstep, and literally could not stop thanking Jimbo. At the time, I knew nothing about the new Nintendo system, but I was about to find out. When we came home and got it hooked up, I of course couldn't read any of the text in the game because it was in Japanese, but that didn't matter. I remember the first time I moved Mario with the N64 joystick right outside of Princess Peach's castle, and it literally gave me goosebumps. I was experiencing the future, and even cooler, I was experiencing it months before it would release in the United States. When I first jumped through a painting, I was in absolute awe that the painting I jumped into is a painting of the actual world I'm about to go explore. At the time, there was literally nothing on the planet quite like this. Seeing and controlling a fully 3D Mario in a giant 3D world to the backdrop of the legendary Super Mario 64 soundtrack, I was literally a kid in heaven. When summer ended, there was a lot of excitement heading into the school year. I was entering into 6th grade at my elementary school, the last grade before heading off to middle school. But more importantly, I couldn't wait to tell everyone about Super Mario 64 and Nintendo's new 3D system, the Nintendo 64. And of course, when I told all my friends at school, nobody believed me. Like Mulder, they really wanted to believe me, but seeing was believing. And it only took about a month of being back to school for Nintendo to air their first commercial and start sending out the Nintendo 64 promo tape to Nintendo Power subscribers. So it didn't take long for my name to be cleared and my story of jumping through paintings to access worlds in Super Mario 64 to be proven true. Now, if you or I wanted to sell our copy of Mario 64 today, it's only worth around $32, but it's priceless to me. If you guys want to see more videos like this, just click that video right up there, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day.